Okay, I think that's it. All right, so this is day 5 of Mastering SEO. And today we're going to talk about a little bit about tracking, analytics. It's great to do all the work on SEO, but if you're not tracking and seeing what the results are, it's kind of for naught, right? Because you want to be able to see that your efforts are producing. Now, obviously, you can see that they're producing if you start getting more phone calls and people start talking more about your site. That is one way. But analytics really is kind of the key to it all. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at Google Analytics. And then we're also going to look, I've got a little tracking plugin on my site that kind of gives me a summary of data that I can go through too, that I'll just share with you. All right. So let me see if I can share the screen and see where we go. All right. So analytics. So if you've not been in Google Analytics before, if you sign into, well, see, and I use Chrome. I don't know, what browser do you usually use?
On my personal computer, I'm gonna be using sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to break down here. I'm gonna use Safari, but I believe that Linda uses Chrome, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm pretty sure we use Chrome at the office.
Okay. Well, and it probably really doesn't matter, but I know for me, I'm always signed in to Google.
Right.
Yes, I can get to Gmail there, but these, the Google apps over here, and I think also over here, all these boxes, those are all the different Google properties.
Okay.
And sometimes you go and for some reason, it used to be like, as soon as I'd hit the properties, like Google would, or the analytics would be one of the very first ones. And now you kind of have to hit more and then even more, and it's about 4 pages down. So, so sometimes it's a little, but you can just do a search for analytics and you'll find it too.
Okay.
All right. So again, when you first get started on Google Analytics, it's going to ask you to, connect it to your website. So
Okay.
it's going to give you a code. Like my code, it's this UA code. Okay. And it will walk you through getting the UA code, to get set up. And then you're going to do exactly like you did on the Search Console. You'll go back to your back office, and you'll go down to your settings. If you have installed the header, was it insert headers and footers? And you'll just go to that plugin, and in the header, you'll plug in that code. And then you refresh it, you give it a moment, and then Google will generally find you. The other way to do it is I have a program on here called Monster Insights. And let's see if I can even, I'm like, where's my Monster Insight? Usually it's like the very first thing on the top. And I'm like going, uh-oh, where did Monster Insights go? Oh, Insights. Okay, I think maybe it's just on Insights now. But it's called Monster Insights. Yep, there it is. For some reason, I usually have a link at the top of the page, and for some reason, it's not doing it. But so this is also a plugin, right? And you can see that for Google authentication, I've plugged in my UA code right there. And so that's really, so I know that Google is getting all my information from my site.
Okay.
Okay. So there's two ways to do it. You can do the insert headers plugin, or you could do Monster Insights. And there's probably, 50 others that you could use, but I've used those two, and those two work.
Okay.
So, and through Monster Insights, they've got this little, they do the summary site stats. Can't say it very well. And because Jetpack is part of Monster Insights.
Okay.
And so you can very quickly get a view of what's going on your site. Right, so here's mine, I get 30, 40 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go like, there's that power of IM statement today, someone's hit it. And then someone's looked on the profile of one of my members. And here's what was happening yesterday. Again, they were kind of looking at some of my members. Because each of my members, I have a member directory over here. And so for each of my members, I create a landing page for them. And what happens a lot of time is, because I am a little bit better at SEO than maybe some of them are,
Mm-hmm.
when you look up some of my members, their Mirelli page comes up before their actual websites.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Benefit of being a member, right? So yesterday, apparently someone was looking for Susan Mertz, and two people ended up on my page instead of her own website. Natasha, for some reason, ended up on my site instead of her website. Okay, but and then over here it will tell you, like, I was getting things, and this is for today, from search engines. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm being found in search, and that's where they're coming from. Did any specific term, unknown search terms just means that they found me on a term that Google, is like not really tracking.
Okay.
And that's okay, because it was probably, they either typed in the name of Mirelli or, whatever they did. Let's see. And see, yesterday almost all of my viewers came from search engine results. And that's because I work on SEO on occasion. So, but this just gives you just a real quick glimpse, which a lot of times is fine. And you can go back weeks, months. If you just do the months view, let's see. I'm pretty steady. I get, what was this, back in November? Well, because I was running some promotions, I had almost, 1,400 views, but I get 500 or 600 a month, pretty steady. So.
Word.
But so here's analytics. It's like no active users right now. Well, because it needs to refresh, because obviously I'm on right now. All right, so these are my websites. Where's this really? Open. Okay, so this is what's happening in analytics, right? So I've had 5 users in the last, this week. But it will give you different kinds of, but do you want to go ahead and set up your Google Analytics?
Yeah.
Are you on your computer? You are, aren't you?
Yes. I don't, though, have my, I don't have the login to the WordPress page on it, so I don't know if it will work.
Probably not, because I think you're going to have to be logged into your Gmail to do it.
Oh, I'm logged. I have the Gmail account. I just don't have the WordPress account.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, yeah, because you're going to need that too, because you're going to have to get into the back office of that to verify it.
Let me try to grab that code.
Okay.
Okay, I just sent that off to ask for that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently there's new terms I need to accept, so let me accept the terms. Accept. Ta-da. All right.
So,
So there's some reports coming up. So yeah, so there are just certain reports. Like I usually look at obviously the overview, and I usually go into audience, and then the audience will tell you, like acquisition will tell you what keywords are being typed in. Like all traffic. And then here you can click and go right over to your search console once they get all put in. It's like, it takes forever. Well, I think partly because I'm also video, I'm like going, it's being very slow. But, so in organic search, right? And that's where you want to be found, right? That is not putting a link organic search is someone typing into the search engine and finding you, right? So on mine, I've had 100 users, and this is started, I guess, in the month of August. 75.49% came from organic search. That means that I'm being found on the web through keywords that, I'm not really trying for organic search, right? And of those 100, 94 of them, it was the first time they came to my site. So I'm attracting new people to the website. And mostly it's to the blog. But those 100 people, the unique visitors, they actually were on there 113 times. So at least, so 13 of them or so came back.
Right.
They visited, and then they came back for something else. So that's good. Bounce rate. Do you know what bounce rate is?
No.
Okay, so bounce rate is, did they just come to the one page that they found and leave? Okay, so a bounce rate of obviously you want a lower bounce rate, but at 85%, that means 15% of the people, if they found, like say they went to my blog, they clicked to another page. Okay, so they didn't bounce from the first thing they found. They actually dove a little deeper somewhere.
Okay.
Well, and then it says, what are the average pages per session is 1.2. You know, so if you had like 100% bounce rate, this number would be a 1, because it would be they came, they saw what they wanted, and then they didn't go any further.
Right.
You know, so you want to have the lowest bounce rate, which just means that people are interested and they're going to click and go a little deeper. You know, yeah, I think this is interesting. The average session for me was like 1 minute and 5 seconds. Okay, so they're basically reading a blog post for the most part. But look at this down here for if they came from a social media, if they clicked on one of my links from social media to come to my site, look at their average session is 5 minutes. That's telling me that they're clicking for my videos. Because I've got training videos out there on the website, and most of them are that 6-7 minute kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that most of these socials, you know, were really going and looking for my videos, which I think is cool, interesting. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
go ahead.
very. I'm just writing notes, little tidbits. Very cool. Okay. I was gonna ask like what sort of information can you garner from this, but not like what information can you garner, I guess, but what sort of inferences maybe, like how do you plan and sort of like monitor using analytics, but I'm starting to see sort of how you can like put certain types of content out to maybe sort of drive different types of engagement and stuff.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it is. You know, when you look at, you know, the pages per session, that's why it's so important to have links on your pages. You know, that whole interlinking of your site, because you want them to stay on your site as much, you know, as long as possible to get as much information about you as possible, so they could be, you know, an informed consumer, right? So you definitely want to, you know, look at this and see where they're coming from. You know, organic search means they're just finding you on the web. You haven't done anything. Direct means that you've put a direct link somewhere, and you know they're clicking on the link to go to your site. And then social is that they're coming from one of the social media sites. So they're coming from Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram. They're like on your profile, or they've done, you know, there's something on your page somehow that has encouraged them to click through to your site.
Right.
Right. And so when I see that the people coming from social are staying on the site so much longer, like going, why is that? Oh, you know what? Because I've promoted my video training on social media where I haven't really done much else. You know, I probably have not optimized any of those videos as well for organic search. I probably should go back and look at those keywords, you know, make some adjustments, try a couple different things, you know, so. So let's see here. I think source medium. Okay, so this is actually going to show you some of the places where things are coming. So, you know, obviously for me, most of my things come from Google, organic, right? 18 is direct, which 18 is, you know, they're actually clicking on a link. Then I've got Facebook, right? 3 different sources from Facebook, and Yahoo organic, which is interesting. But Yahoo and Bing are the same search engine. So it says Yahoo, but it really kind of means Bing. But that's really where most of my traffic comes from Google, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happening on referrals. And referrals should be, Facebook. I mean, that's, where people are finding me is on Facebook, which is right. And I'm not really using any, I'm not currently tracking any landing pages. I have in the past, but I don't have any current campaigns running. Let's look at behavior. What does behavior say? Oh, site content. That's where we want to go. Let me get the overview up. Okay, so that one blog post, that Power of IM statements, obviously, does really well. Then membership, and quite honestly, I send a lot of people to membership, right? So, yeah. Mastering SEO, my product. That's a program I'm launching in January, so that's up. There's some blog posts. There's the general member directory, and then you could hit full report, and it would, it would probably give you 136 entries. But look at site content. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, so there's 31 pages. So you can actually look at each individual page. So you can kind of look at the Power of IM statements. Look at that. The average time on that page is 9 minutes. My membership, look at that. They stay more on that one blog post than my membership, looking at all my different membership options. Right. That's kind of funny. But I look at it and go, you know what? It's taking people 8 minutes to consider membership. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The startup shower, you know what? People are going like 6 minutes to that. And as I add more products in there, that'll get longer. When they look at the about, they're spending 8 minutes. There's a lot of links and stuff on there. So I bet there's a lot of people bouncing around when they go there. And notice that there's zero. See over here, like this is like entrances. It's like, when do they come to that page first? And the about is no one starts on about, because I don't really promote that page anywhere. And the SEO on that page is probably not the best. So they're linking into about from somewhere else. No one starts there. And it's interesting that no one starts in the member directory either. They come to my site and then they see member directory and then they start looking for people.
It's kind of neat to see how people like. It's kind of like seeing how people think.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's why data is so fun, because it does. It definitely tells you what they're thinking, what they look at, and you can really see what they like, what they,
Right.
Yeah. But so let's look at what's on the next page. Okay, so people are going to the mindset and motivation. They're checking out my success box. Here's a blog post. Here's an event that's coming up. Marie Talks, I'm not sure what this is. 5 sentences, that's a blog post. Another variation of a blog post. Oh, testimonials. Someone went out and visited testimonials. That's cool. Abundance mindset, that's a set of videos. So you can kind of see what pages people have been on.
Right. And this is only for the website. If you do, like, does like Instagram and social media platforms have their own analytics that you can look at for them? Okay.
Yes, they do. So let me just show you real quick on Facebook. Yeah, it's called Insights. Take a minute. Yeah. And it takes a minute to load. See right here where it says Insights. Let the page load. All right, so what's the name? Uh-oh. You know, this happened the other day too. It doesn't want to share certain pages. Did I lose you? Or are you still there?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. But are you seeing a black screen?
Yeah, and like a little, it's like it's thinking next to the, oh, just went away.
Okay. Pages become unresponsive. What, Facebook is unresponsive?
Ooh.
Gotta get rid of analytics from it because I know that's a big site and Facebook's a big site. It just may be going, it's too much. My poor little computer, I swear.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is. Anytime I've seen people like screen share, do things like that, it always slows down considerably. Even when they
it does. And it does. I mean, it takes a lot of power.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, Facebook is a huge site. I mean, it just is. And it takes a lot. You know, we love it, but at the same time, it's like, goodness.
Exactly.
It's loading, loading, loading. Come on now. Nope, it's getting there. There's more stuff. Yeah, and probably Facebook also is like going, oh, you're not using Facebook Live, so you know, you're trying to do something else with another service, you know, we won't. Even though with Zoom, you can actually hook it into do a Facebook Live, which is
Wow.
yeah, it's
That's
like at like $49 a month. You can actually do Zoom and do it also as a Facebook Live. Kind of fun.
wow.
So now that the page is fully loaded, let's see if it'll go to Insights. All All right, so this is going to give you your your insights into your business page on Facebook, and LinkedIn also has a way, and Instagram, and probably Twitter too. I just don't look at Twitter as much. I probably should. But you can kind of go down and here's your 5 most recent posts, and and each one you can kind of review, like actions on the page. It'll give you a little bit more information. Right, so people who clicked, people who clicked your phone number. I haven't been really promoting that. Action buttons. So let's see here. Let's look at my events, because I do mostly, I do a lot of events, so I do a lot of event promotion. So let's see if it's going to give me some data on my event promotion. Loading. Okay, so the last 90 days, I've had 35 events. I've had 11.5 thousand people. I've had 749 people respond to my events, and 480 tickets. So, and then it tells you on the different ones, how many people have, you reached with each event, and how many people are clicking, and how many people are buying tickets. So, so there's quite a bit of data out there also. And usually what I do seriously, I have a spreadsheet where I kind of track different data points that I want to look at. And I don't look as much on the page as I do like in my group. So let me see if I can pull up group insights. So here's my group. I've got 800 members, and like half of them, 400 are active members. Active members mean that they actually are going on the group and they're liking, commenting, sharing, that they actually are doing some sort of engagement in the group. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty good. They get comments, but you can, let's look at them. So, I've had 7 new members in the last month. I have 1.6, in the last 28 days in my group, I've had 1.6 thousand comments, posts, and reactions.
Wow.
Yeah, we're a fairly active group.
That's very impressive. Like, that's a lot of people.
That is a lot. Well, it's 550 people.
Oh.
Right? But they've done 1,600 posts, comments, and reactions.
I see.
So everyone who's been in the group has done at least 2 comments, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Most popular time, days. But then it tells you which posts are people really reacting to. Like this, I'm going, I asked the question, what do you want to learn more about? Right? 173 people looked at that, but only 8 of them gave me the comment, told me. But 173 of them actually saw that post. Calling out business opportunities, 212 saw it. But you can kind of see, which things are getting the most likes, what's getting the most comments. So it kind of is just the great thing about data, right, is that you can kind of look at it and go, maybe I need to do more of that, or, that really didn't work. So don't do that as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of power to it for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think this is kind of fun. My active members, I'm like going, okay, it's like whatever day this was, like on the 2nd, it looks like I had maybe 175 people on the site. And then this is the 3rd. So on the 4th, I had probably 240 people in my group, doing, I guess it says over here, 232 members were in the group on that day.
Right.
That we're not in the group. I mean, I always have 800 people in the group, but I mean, we're
Like
interacting with things on the group. Yeah.
right.
So, it's kind of fun. 226, 225. Okay, what happened on this day? Like, what? No one went in on only 116 people. What happened?
Right.
What day was that? That's like the 14th August. Let's see, what was going on? 13th, 14th. I don't know. Did it rain that day? Was it, I was like, why weren't people in there? To jump out, so who knows? Yesterday, 230. So, so every day in my group, there's 200 and some people jumping in.
Right.
So, that's, let's see, more engagement details. But yeah, but data is definitely how you increase traffic. Actually, someone sent me a question yesterday, and she said, one, she wished that she could have been in this training and couldn't. But then she says, but how do I get more people to my website? And that was just the question. Well, I went to her, kind of like went through her page and what she'd been posting. And she'd never even mentioned her website, like ever, on her social media. And I said, well, start with maybe telling people to go to your website.
Right.
I mean, I do every once in a while, I send them to, hey, have you considered membership? Check out my membership page. Every time I do a blog, I will post it and say, visit my blog. And because I've got like over 400 blog posts out there. And so I just rotate them around every once in a while, go, hey, there's, some of my trainings, I'll just put a link up and say, hey, did you know I've got training out there? These are free to the public. Some of them are paid and, they have to be members to get to, but
right.
a lot of free training out there too. So I'll just throw the post up and say, go to my website and watch it. So that's one of the best ways to get more, traffic is tell people about your website.
So yeah, like sort of like from yesterday where, like to continuously update, you don't always have to be creating new content. You can sort of reuse and like kind of squeeze out, more life, I guess, from stuff that you've already done.
Yes, repurpose.
Yeah.
That blog post that you wrote can be turned into an article on LinkedIn.
Right.
And on LinkedIn, are you aware there's posts and then there's articles? And the articles can be very powerful. And they stay out there just like a blog post. And they build your credibility. So, very definitely, but that same blog post can be turned into an article, can be turned into a guest blog on a different blog.
Right.
So once you get content, you just figure out ways to reuse it.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, any other questions?
No, just gotta get to it now.
All right. Well, I'm going to be sending you an email probably tomorrow with some links and all the different things that I've shown the last couple of days. and then you will have my email. If
Yeah.
you have any questions, just let me know. And I have my phone number on there too. You can
Okay.
text me, email me, and I'll try to answer what I can.
Yeah.
And very definitely, as I'm going to be curious. I'm going to go out there every once in a while and check Desba and see what new things you're doing and
Please.
what are you doing. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm excited. This has just been really cool from many perspectives. It's, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just excited. I'm excited to start kind of pulling all this stuff together and like, the idea of this web makes me excited. Like being able to sort of build this multiple, not, how do I say this? A web really is the best way to say it.
yeah,
Building it just seems like it's going to be fun, and I'm excited to sort of get all of this stuff. It's going to be a lot. I already can tell that there's going to be a lot of content generation on our part that's going to have to kind of start
yeah.
beforehand, but or before we can really sort of build that up. But I'm excited to do it, and I think yeah, I'm excited. There's some cool ideas running around, but yeah, so thank you. This has been really cool.
Cool. All righty. Well, thank you very much for jumping on,
Yeah.
and go out to the beach and have a great day.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye.